Hello everyone. This is me, Loading Morgul. And yes, I'm back now. I know. You guys must be wondering, why the fuck haven't you uploaded a video for like a week or something, blah 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 blah. Let me tell you why. Because I've been recording like one whole year of universe mode. That's why maybe. Maybe because I'm trying to get Desmond Keith reacts to work. Maybe to get the new storyline to work and next year to be cool, I have to make some cause. Probably because of that probably because of all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's forget that. And this is somewhat of a nice slash bad, like sad kind of video. Now let me tell you how it's a nice but sad video. It's nice because, hey, you guys finally be getting like a video from me, which is great. Right, great. Now, sad because, this video is about a sad news, and that sad news is that all the new universe videos that I recorded have been deleted. Which fucking sucks. Cause I had like a great storyline going on. Just to sum the storyline up, let me tell you, now it's a day after WrestleMania, all the universe drafts, everything is going on. We have a new team on Raw, the Rockers. They're like better 3MB, and the members is Edge, Ken Marshall, and Rockstar. Rockstar was actually not made by me. That was made by Insanity, and he runs his own clan, IWF, Attitude, some clans like that. So which is cool. You should check his channel out. It will be in the description. And let me just go on and talk more. So yeah, there's a new team going on. There's Edge in it. There's Ken Marshall, which I made, which is kind of like Rockstar but older version of him. Like he's like a rocker, but he's like in his late 30s, so he's not that good of a wrestler. I mean, he's a good wrestler, but he's old, if that makes sense. So yeah, and there's Edge from '99, that old long hair one. Yeah, so that team is going on. Edge is our hardcore champion now. He won the title, and those two guys are tag team champions, which is great. The team is going on and making it. And now comes the real storyline. So it's a day after WrestleMania, and there's a universe mode draft going on, and the main event is Alberto Del Rio versus Desmond Keith. And before the match starts, some random music hits, and there's one guy comes out running out, and I'm just cursing my ass off. I'm just screaming, and he comes out and he said that the match next is not between Alberto Del Rio and Desmond Keith. It's between Alberto Del Rio and Michael. And everyone's like, who the fuck is Michael? And blah blah blah. And then he says that the guy who we all think is Desmond Keith is not a real Desmond Keith. Leroy, is a real, original Desmond Keith. And he was kicked out of the company because he got a little, maybe, a little substance problem, a little gambling problem, maybe because he was not mentally somewhat stable, because of stuff like that. He was kicked out, and he was the top guy, and when company decided to go to YouTube to actually go out and like get some hype for itself, they fired him because they said that he wasn't stable enough and stuff. So he left, and now it's a year later, and the guy who replaced him, who became the next Desmond Keith, because he was playing Desmond Keith, he was the Desmond Keith. So the guy who replaced him, Michael, he's actually not Samoan at all. He is actually Russian, and his real name is Michael Brinkelhoff, and he replaced Leroy as Desmond Keith, and company went with him because he was stable. he was nice and he was not crazy and didn't have any problems like Leroy does, but he could wrestle just as good if not better than Leroy. So Leroy got fired and he was replaced. They used Desmond Keith the title, which was his, to get the new guy in and then use him. And when he comes out, Leroy, now our Desmond Keith is at the top of the world. He is he's the world champion. He's gonna do everything. And Leroy just says that, guess what, bitches? It's my choice. And I am back, but not on Raw right now. I will be on SmackDown, and guess what? I'm gonna take SmackDown's world title with me, just so I get a chance to whoop that me wannabe's ass. He says that, and then he walks out, and then, he just walks away. The Gods comes out, and he just runs out in the crowd, and he just gets away and stuff. Then the match starts between Desmond Keith and Alberto Del Rio, and there's me, cause I'm on the commentary, so I'm screaming my ass off, and I'm like, "Yo, man, you're doing this wrong. You gotta do this, Desmond. You gotta pick it up and stuff." And Desmond is already like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because he just saw Leroy, and he was not supposed to meet Leroy. No one was supposed to even know about Leroy, and now people are learning about him. So that was like the big, oh fuck, we're screwed kind of moment. Yeah, but then everything works out and blah 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 at the end. Now there's Leroy. So now at the end, Desmond Keith loses that match to Alberto Del Rio, and then SmackDown gets a pick, and they get Randy Orton. They get Randy Orton on SmackDown. No, they get Dolph Ziggler back on SmackDown, because Dolph Ziggler first went to Raw, then he came back to SmackDown. Now it's the next week's SmackDown, and the match is going down between the Great Khali, Leroy, and Damien Sandow. And the match was for a contract to be on, really be on SmackDown. So, and Leroy pulls it off. He wins the match. They're still pissed, and actually Desmond Keith comes out after the match, and he attacks Leroy, and he takes him out, and bullshit like that, and then he has a match, and he wins against Alberto Del Rio. Then the next week, Desmond Keith comes out and he say, "I don't care what the fuck you say, you were never good enough to be in this company, and you never will be, so I'm the real champion, I'm the real Desmond Keith, no matter what you say, bitch, suck it." He basically says that and walks away and blah blah blah. Now comes the SmackDown, and Leroy is like the #1 contender for Alberto Del Rio's title, and he's having a match with Del Rio, but it's a non-title match, and he wins it. So Del Rio shakes his hand, and then he walks away. Then they come to the pay-per-view, the first pay-per-view, which is one night only, on which Desmond Keith has a match against Dolph Ziggler, who comes back on Raw. Well, Dolph Ziggler went everywhere in that Universe strap, holy shit. And yeah, and Desmond Keith wins the match. And there's a match going on between Leroy, Christian, and Damien Sandow. It's a triple threat, and the winners get 50k. And except Leroy, others two have a chance to get 90k. And only way that they can is, well, because whoever gets pinned will be terminated from the company forever. Whoever gets pinned. Now, well, I come up with a plan, and I announce that whoever gets Leroy fired will get extra 40k. And well, if you don't, no, you will get extra 40k, and you will also get a chance at the World Championship, because Leroy lost his chance. Whoever wins will get the chance at the World Championship and 50k, but whoever gets Leroy fired will get extra 40k with that. So everyone was happy with that. They were like, yeah, we need to get Leroy fired. So Christian and Damien Sandow teamed up on him, but so at one time, Damien Sandow was holding Leroy with the arms, and Christian was going for the clothesline, and Leroy ducked, so he hit it Damien Sandow with the clothesline, which knocked Damien Sandow out, and then Leroy rolled him up. Christian got pinned. Christian lost his contract. Christian was fired. And Leroy got a chance at the world title. And then he starts to get in some fights with Mark Henry, and he starts to get in some fight with Mark Henry and Miz. So yeah, so everyone's trying to take him out because no one wants him in the company. No one wants him in the company because of all the things that he have done in the past, and because I'm basically being Mr. McMahon to Stone Cold. I'm basically trying to get him out. I'm trying to ruin his life and blah 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 blah. Basically to him. So now comes SmackDown, a couple weeks, and on SmackDown there's a match going on. The match was supposed to be between Leroy and The Miz, and Mark Henry comes out of nowhere, brutalizes Leroy, and Leroy basically breaks his left arm completely. And then Miz pins him, and Miz wins. So the next week, Leroy and The Miz was supposed to happen again, but Leroy was not medically cleared. But he comes out anyway with his arm taped up, and Mark Henry was on the commentary with me and it was me and Mark Henry on the commentary. So so we're going on. Leroy comes up, he punches Mark Henry on the face, and Mark Henry gets pissed, and Mark Henry walks away. Then Leroy pile drive hit. Yeah, Leroy's finishers is a top rope pile driver and a prodigy dive. Two new moves that I made and stuff. But yeah, let's forget about that and let's go on. So yeah, Leroy is now facing The Miz, and Mark Henry is not at the ringside. He's not at the commentary with me. So now Leroy has a chance to win, and what he does is, once he hurted Miz enough and once he built enough momentum, he hits Miz with the tombstone piledriver through the table, through the announcer's table. And then he takes Miz back in the ring, hits Miz with the prodigy dive, pins him, and Miz loses. Then Mark Henry comes back out, and he takes him out and say, "Next week on SmackDown, it will be you versus me. And now if you're a man enough, you will accept the challenge." Leroy goes like, You know what? Hell, I'll do it. I accept the challenge. So the next week, those two go at it each other, they headbutt. Mark Henry destroy him for the most part, but then Mark Henry goes for, the swagger dive from the top rope that Mark Henry used to do to people to break their legs and shit, with a chair in their leg. Yeah, Mark Henry goes for that, and Leroy moves out. Mark Henry falls down, he hurt himself. Then Leroy rolls out to the corner, and he punched Mark Henry on the head, and then Leroy goes to the top rope, prodigy dive, hit, and Mark Henry gets pinned, and Mark Henry was down for the count, basically, after the prodigy dive. And then Alberto Del Rio comes out, he says, "There is no way that you're gonna win in 2 days at Capital Punishment because it's a special guest referee match." And guess who's the special guest referee, bitch? Yeah, Desmond Keith. So now we fast forward to the 2 days later on Capital Punishment, and the match is going on between Alberto Del Rio, Leroy, and Desmond Keith is a special referee. Desmond Keith and it's an Extreme Rules match out of plus. So yeah, Desmond Keith tries to screw him, and Leroy basically gets pissed afterwards because Desmond Keith won't count. Alberto Del Rio would tap, and he would say, "Oh, I didn't see anything. And I'll be like, "Yeah, he didn't tap. Whatever you say, man. He didn't tap." I'll be on commentary, so I'll be like, "Yeah, no, he didn't tap. Whatever you're saying, guys. I don't know. No one tapped and shit." So, afterwards, Leroy got pissed. So what Leroy did was he grabbed a ladder, steel ladder, and he basically rammed it to Desmond Keith's face. He rammed it through Desmond Keith's face. Then he climbed the ladder and hit Alberto Del Rio with prodigy dive from that. Yeah, it's a top rope finisher. So yeah, he hit Alberto Del Rio with that move. And the new referee came out by that time, and he pinned him. Referee counted 1, 2, 3, and Del Rio was out, and he became a new champion. Now both are like both are the champions of their brands. Both brands are headbutting each other because one side there is Stephanie and Shane McMahon who are running SmackDown. On the other side there's Mr. McMahon who's running Raw. And I am basically a little manipulator. I manipulate both brands, and I'm basically making both brands to destroy each other just so I could come out on top, because I have my own plan to get rid of WWE brand completely and start my own clan with some of my hand chosen ones, and one of them is Leroy and one of them is Desmond Keith. And both men hate each other, and they want to destroy each other. They both want to kill each other. So now we all fast forward to SummerSlam, where these two are going at each other. It's like half an hour Iron Man match inside Extreme Rules. Anywhere they want, they can go. Both start off in the ring. At the end, they're in like a backstage. They're backstage in like the parking lot, and the match is going on, and the bell rings, and none of them win. It was 0-0. The match ends at draw, and they go on to have another match. As Survivor Series, it was Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. On Team Raw, there was the Rockers and Desmond Keith. On SmackDown, there was him. There was... who else was there? There was him, there was Randy Orton, and there was... who else was there? There was Leroy, there was Randy Orton, and there was Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. Yeah, those four. And and on the Raw side there was Desmond Keith, there was Edge, there was Ken Marshall, and there was Rockstar. Both team headbutts each other, and it ends in the disqualification because out of nowhere, some of my guys, which are Tyler Hughes and Jacob Cass, out of nowhere, those two comes out and they attack everyone. It basically comes out with steel pipes, and like it's the end match, like it's about to end now. At the end, like everyone has been eliminated except Desmond Keith and Leroy. Those two are still in the ring, and out of nowhere, those two guys comes out and they attack these two who hate each other. So now the next pay-per-view is up, and Desmond Keith and Leroy are working together against these two wannabes who are basically nobodies right now in the WWE. They're going against each other, and at the end, no one loses. They all shake hands and they get together. They're basically like, yeah, we are the team. And then I come out of nowhere, and I'm like raising all their hands. I introduce the new LWF who will take over Raw and SmackDown. And Mr. McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Shane O'Mac are completely pissed by that. They're like, what the fuck is going on, man? We're supposed to be winning. No, this is wrong. Basically, blah, 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 blah. They're going like this. And, now we're fast forwarding, and now we're at Royal Rumble, and matches are set to go somewhat like this. There's Leroy and... no, the match is Leroy versus Randy Orton for the world title. Desmond Keith versus... who was that? Desmond Keith versus... yeah, Dolph Ziggler. No, Desmond Keith versus Edge for the AW... well, we changed the AWA title back to the, the Wings one. The WWE title. Yeah, now it's that title. And the match is supposed to happen. And there is... wait, who's the ECW? And yeah, WCW US champion is, yeah, the Miz is that champion, and Miz is gonna face, who was Miz gonna face? I think Miz was gonna face, I forgot, I think Miz was gonna face Drew McIntyre or something like that. And, everything is going like that, and at the end there was like a huge Royal Rumble match. And Jacob Cass and Tyler Hughes both are in this match as well. All of them are in this match. Even the tag champions, which are Ken Marshall and Rockstar. And yeah, those two are supposed to face Kofi Kingston and R-Truth in like a unified tag team championship match, blah blah blah. Yeah, so this match is going down at Royal Rumble, and So I was thinking, okay, guys, their phone is ringing. I'm not gonna pick it up for now, but yeah, yeah. So this match is going down, and this all supposed to go down, and all the record. And I said, okay, I'll record more today. I said that I was done by recording all of this by yesterday, because it was a lot. It took me more than one day to record all this. So okay, I thought, okay, I'll get Royal Rumble done and a couple more done today. And at the end, what happened was I came back and I started to look through. And I find out that all the recording has been deleted. So now guys, it's up to you all to choose whether you guys want me to continue on with the recording and record after the Royal Rumble, or you guys don't. Because if you guys want me to keep on going and like record after Royal Rumble now, I will. Believe me, I will. But it won't come out until like, you know, after WWE 2K14 is out, because it's 27th now, and it comes out on 29th. So after this video goes up, I don't think there will be enough time for any other thing to go up. So, yeah guys, now this is the end. It's up to all of you to choose. Who do you, if you guys want any more universe mode, or do you want me to just say, fuck it, and now you guys get next video on the 29th, which you will get anyways, which will be WWE 2K14, and just say fuck to WWE 13. Basically, do you guys want me to do that, and or do you guys want me to like keep on going with the universe mode now, even though you won't be able to see what happened before that, but I just summarized everything that happened for you guys. Yeah. So let me just summarize again. So it's after WrestleMania. Leroy comes out. He said that he's a real Desmond Keith, and blah 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 goes on. He gets tortured, basically his career until he makes it to the SummerSlam. Wait, no, after SummerSlam, until he makes it to was that Survivor Series? No, after Survivor Series. Yeah, until he makes it to the TLC. Yeah, TLC, it's revealed that all of them are working together, even me, and I'm with them. And now its next pay-per-view is Royal Rumble, and the McMahon family wants to punish us, destroy us, and they're like making their whole corporation now. They're sending after my team. I'm basically like Mr. McMahon. I'm not gonna wrestle. Mr. McMahon won't come out and wrestle. So I'm being Mr. McMahon right now. I'm not wrestling. I'm sending my players to wrestle. I'm basically being Paul Heyman. I'm not gonna come out and wrestle myself. I'm gonna send my players who will come out and they will wrestle. So yeah, shit like that. So now everything goes down. We TLC win. I mean TLC it's released that it's a whole team, and now the next pay-per-view comes out, Royal Rumble, and that's where all the recording has been going to hell. So now I know guys that after Royal Rumble there isn't that much. After Royal Rumble there's Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. That's it. There are only 3 pay-per-views left then. But guys, that is all that I have now left. So I don't have anything else left. So I can't do anything else. So excuse me. So if you're cool with having just that, please be my guest and say that yes, we want more. But if you don't, just say fuck it. You know what? Just say fuck it. We don't care, and just tell me that now you guys had enough of WWE 13 and you want more, and now you guys want WWE 2K14. So yeah, guys, this is it. But now, before I go on and do my outro, there will still after this will be one, and I mean one WWE 13 video, and that would be my EVSW commentary trial number 2, cause I fucked up the last one. Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna do another one. But yeah, that's for that, and blah blah blah. And now I will see you later, guys. So until then, so guys, all I'm gonna say is peace. Bye. Goodbye. Whatever you, sir, ma'am, cat, dog. Whatever you all are into. And I shall see you later. Until then, I'll Afida Azane.